Story 1. He and the other scoutmaster ran over to my tent with one of the hunting rifles, but they didn't find the man. However, they did pick up on the tracks the man left walking around the tent. We were all told to bring our tents closer together, almost right on top of each other. The trip was cut short the next day, and we all went home. I have never gone camping since, and I never will again. Story 2. Last summer, a couple of my buddies and I went camping alongside the Willamette River. We had a decent hike into the deep end of the woods. We did some night fishing, listened to music, and drank until everything was funny. Later in the night, I guess we finally called it a night, somewhere past 2 a.m. I shared a tent with one of my buds, while the other two shared another tent. We heard them laughing about something. At first, we laughed at the sound of their laughter, but it soon got annoying, and we yelled for them to shut up. One of them responded, "It isn't us." I sat up, startled at the response. I realized it was the sound of only one person laughing, and it didn't sound like either one of my friends. Even in my drunk state, I realized how odd it was for somebody to be out this far in the woods so late at night. The laughing gradually got closer and louder to our campsite. My friend shot up and looked at me with a worried look on his face. I heard my other friend scream over to us that they were getting freaked out. As the laughing got even closer, I could make it out very clearly to be the laugh of a male, probably in his 30s or 40s, sounding like he was as drunk as us, messing around with friends. But we only heard his laugh, nobody else. There was something indescribably creepy about his laugh, as if it was missing something. You had to be there to understand what I mean. The laughing was now just at the edge of our campsite, but we couldn't hear any footsteps at all. That may not seem like a big deal, but it was impossible to move through there without making noise. Finally, all of a sudden, the laughing stopped completely. We had no idea where whoever that was standing, as he hadn't made a single stepping sound. We sat there in silence, looking at each other. My friend was clearly freaking out, but he was keeping it together the best he could. Finally, something broke the silence. The sound of something rubbing against the cottony fabric of the tent. We saw the outline of a hand through the moonlight pressing on the tent. We both screamed at the top of our lungs before getting out of the tent. We ran as fast as we could through the woods, our other friends following us. After about 5 minutes of running, we somehow found our car. I actually puked from running so much before taking the wheel. I don't condone drinking and driving, but I still believe we were justified in this situation. By far, the most horrific experience of my life. I have no idea who or what that was, or what they wanted. Story 3. After college, I went backpacking in the Canadian wilderness for a few weeks by myself. To put this in perspective, I was in the middle of nowhere. The nearest town was a 3-hour bus ride away, and I only saw one other person from a distance. He was in a canoe during the entire 7 days. I brought a few disposable cameras with me, as this was before digital cameras were too widespread. I took a lot of pictures. When I got home, I had them developed and took a look at them. The pictures were standard nature shots until I got about halfway through my first camera. There were 2 pictures of me asleep in my tent in my sleeping bag. I literally freaked out when I saw it and had a complete breakdown. To this day, I have no idea how those pictures were taken. I haven't been camping since, and I sleep with my door open and my curtains shut. I still get the paranoid feeling that whoever took those pictures is still watching me somehow. Story 4. My boyfriend and I decided to go out to the gorge for some quality time camping. We had always gone with several other people, but this was the first time it was just the 2 of us. When we got out of our car to prep our gear for the mile hike back to the camping spot, 2 sketchy-looking dudes came out of the trailhead, eyed us, and went back to their old-school Volkswagen camper van. I had a weird feeling, but shrugged it off and proceeded back to our camping spot. I had previously camped in the same area a handful of times and knew it pretty well. Once we got back there, I knew of a handful of different camping spots and proceeded to check them all out for the one that would be ideal for us. I noticed what looked like someone camping further up the hill, so I picked a spot a little further down where we'd most likely be out of sight, though not out of earshot. as I heard him yelling with someone else back over on the trail. It was starting to get dark by the time we got everything set up, so I figured I'd start looking for firewood. Suddenly, this guy appears out of nowhere and asks us if we'd like any.
Thank you for watching until the end of the video. Your support means a lot to us. We hope you enjoyed the content and found it helpful. Please like, share, and subscribe for more updates.